I won't talk too much about the process of this because I find it easier just to kind of get in and do it. If you've got anything on your knees, you might like to put it down on the floor. If you want to take off your glasses, feel free. If you want to have a bit of a stretch or massage a part of your body where you normally hold tension, a lot of people habitually hold tension in a part of their body. Generally, I recommend that you practice these techniques sitting up. If you lie down, close your eyes and focus on relaxing, you tend to fall asleep. Meditation's not about falling asleep, it's about waking up and being here. However, if you know that you have a problem in your body and that you're going to be uncomfortable sitting up, then lie down. We're not into martyrdom at all. It's not about doing it right. The right way is the way that works for you. So then just settle into a position where you feel comfortable. Allow your spine to be comfortably erect. Feet flat on the floor. Your hands resting in your lap or on your knees, wherever feels comfortable for you. Then allow your eyes to close over lightly. And begin by taking some long, slow, deep breaths. You might like to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like a long sigh. As you breathe out, feel your body soften and relax. Breathe out all the roles that you play in your life amongst your family, or friends, or at work. Breathe out all the busyness of today, all the thoughts in your mind, the feelings. And feel yourself settle into a quiet place within, a sacred place of peace and healing. And devote this next little while to that innermost sacred place. Feel the effects of your breathing right down to the pubic bone. You might like to bring your awareness to your solar plexus, just above your navel. If there's any tightness or tension in that area, visualize it as a pool of water and see a pebble dropped right into its center, spreading ripples of relaxation out from its center. And let your breathing return to its own natural rhythm, keeping your belly soft so that it continues to gently rise and fall at your own rhythm. And become aware of your feet. Not thinking about them, but actually feeling all the sensations within your feet, beginning with the soles. Notice where there's pressure, where there's space. Notice textures and temperature. Then to your toes, beginning with the big toes. You might want to wriggle them a little to locate them in your awareness. And the second ones, and so on. Down to your little toes. Then to the tops of your feet. Feel the touch of the air or the pressure of your sock or shoe against the skin. And deep within your feet, feel the life force that pulsates there. And imagine the muscles and bones softening and spreading. As we go through the various parts of your body, remember to acknowledge and appreciate the areas that work wonderfully. Your feet, which provide balance and mobility. Let your ankles be loose. The muscles of the calves hanging soft and loose from the bones. And even when you think they're relaxed, let them go a little more. Your knees and thighs. Let the muscles soften and spread against the chair. You may find that your legs become heavy or light, whichever feels right for you, and that you can increase the intensity of that feeling by breathing in heaviness or lightness, perhaps giving the air a color to represent that feeling. Each outward breath, imagine it flowing down to fill your legs. Your buttocks relaxed, cushioning, supporting your body without any tension. You might like to tilt your pelvis just a little to find the right alignment for your spine. The muscles of your abdomen gently rising and falling at your own rhythm. And deep within your abdomen, imagine the organs softening and settling. Their borders smoothing out, as if cradled within your pelvis. Feel the warmth and comfort flowing deep within your pelvis, spreading gently through your solar plexus and tummy, spreading softly into your chest. Feel the movement of your rib cage with each inward and outward breath. Notice the way your clothing moves against your skin as you breathe. Let your heart be cradled in peace. Visualize your heart as a flower in bud, that in the presence of peace opens to its full blossom. Petals gently uncurling, as if touched by early morning sunshine. Revealing all the beauty and harmony and perfection of the flower. And imagine those qualities spreading like a perfume into your shoulders to soothe and soften. You might like to imagine the loving touch of hands upon your shoulders, hands of a loved one or a friend, or the hands of an angel or some spiritual teacher that you respect. And surrender into those hands all your struggles, your confusions or doubts or fears, almost as if the hands become magnets for those feelings. Letting go whatever stands in the way of peace. And imagine the healing, the love, the peace that flows from those hands like waves of relaxation, waves of healing that flow through your body. Imagine that flowing over your shoulder blades, your waist and lower back, flowing down through your arms into the elbows and forearms, the soft presence of relaxation spreading throughout your body, flowing right down into your wrists and hands, right down into your fingertips. You may find they tingle or pulsate with the presence of relaxation, or that your arms become heavy or light, and that you can increase the intensity of that feeling with each breath. Let your throat be open and relaxed. All unnecessary tension drained out of your neck. If you're sitting, you might like to imagine your head as a balloon and your spine a string, and feel it floating very, very lightly at the top of the string as it lengthens and stretches its way toward the ceiling until it finds its own perfect balance. Your lower jaw relaxed so that your teeth part just a little. Your tongue soft and at rest in your mouth. Soft lips and cheeks and all the little muscles round your eyes smoothing out. And deep behind your eyes, a sense of letting go. Imagine the space between your eyebrows widening as your forehead softens. Soft temples and ears and the whole of your scalp softening. The whole of your body deeply calm and relaxed. All the sounds around you are familiar. The sounds of my voice and other people, the traffic outside. Let those sounds be there without judgment or criticism, as a part of each moment, each one rising out of stillness as if your body is surrounded by a vast ocean of peace, and each breath is like a wave upon the shore of that ocean, flowing softly in, softly out. You might like to hold in your mind's eye the image of a vast and peaceful ocean, as if you're standing high on a cliff top overlooking the sea. The vast dome of the sky above, the healing warmth of the sun against your skin, and far below the water sparkling in the sunshine, and a golden sandy beach that stretches out endlessly in both directions. You can create this scene just the way you choose. This is your own part of the universe, a safe place of healing and wisdom and understanding. There's a pathway that leads down to the beach, and you can begin walking that way now, or you can simply let yourself drift as if you were a feather or a butterfly, drifting softly down, leaving the world behind as you enter an inner sanctuary of peace and tranquility, until your feet come softly to rest upon the sand. You might like to walk down to where the sand meets the sea, that ribbon of light where the sand is fresh and clean and untrodden, where the waves roll in around your ankles to cool and refresh, dissolving each footprint. You might like to find a place upon the beach where you can sit or lie to enjoy this place of peace. Or you may prefer to enter the water, feeling it wash over your body to cleanse and refresh, revitalize. Perhaps swimming through the waves until you find yourself beyond the waves, to where the ocean rocks your body very gently. You might like to float upon your back in this ocean of peace, bathed in sunlight, each breath an opportunity to breathe in the healing warmth of the sun. Each outward breath a deeper letting go. You might like to visualize the sun becoming small enough to place inside of your heart and put it there. And imagine it radiating out the light of peace, the light of love, the light of joy. You might like to place another sun or many suns into areas of your body that are in need of healing or comfort or support. And visualize the light of healing flowing out, re-establishing perfect harmony, dissolving all shadows, soothing, until the whole of your body is filled with light. There's nothing you need do right now but rest deeply, trusting that healing is taking place within your body, mind and spirit, and that all you need do right now is rest deeply. You might like to focus upon each breath as it flows in and out of your body, perhaps resting your awareness on the rising and falling of your abdomen, or at the point where the air enters and leaves your body right at the tip of your nostrils. Or you may prefer to repeat a word or a phrase silently in your mind with each inward and outward breath. Perhaps something like, "All is well," or "Healing peace," or "Letting go," or some other words of your own choosing. Each time your mind becomes busy, just bring it back to the practice, letting the thoughts go, focusing upon the breath or on the repetition of the word or phrase of your choice. Now imagine once more that you're standing upon the beach and that you're surrounded by a circle of those that love and respect you. It may be a very small circle or very large. There may be faces of your family or loved ones. And contentment. And extend your love and blessings across the rainbow to that person. Then focus once more upon your own heart and allow your breathing to deepen. And as it deepens, feel the energy flooding back into your body, as if you're sitting under a waterfall of light that cascades down onto your head and shoulders, a light so fine that it passes right through the center of your body, enlivening every cell. Feel the muscle tone returning to your arms and legs, and in your own time begin moving your hands and feet just a little. Then, keeping your eyes closed, let yourself stretch the way a cat stretches after a sleep as you bring all of your awareness back into this room, and without losing the qualities and benefits of your practice, just allow your eyes to open once more. You might want to rest them a little more. Can you see how relaxation and meditation can help create a sense of calmness and peace within yourself? There are so many choices and decisions that we have to make as we embark upon a journey that a lot of us didn't choose. But if we can make those choices and decisions from a place of peace within ourselves rather than a place of fear, then we're going to make better decisions. You might decide that carrot juice is a good thing to drink because all those wretched books say it is. You can drink the carrot juice thinking, gosh, this stuff is awful and I hate it. Or you can drink it feeling, I can feel this stuff doing me good. It's like every cell of my body gets a slurp of carrot juice. The carrot juice is just carrot juice. But how we feel about what we eat, drink, all the therapies we embark upon, it's going to make a difference to the outcome. A lot of people think that in order to meditate, you have to have a really quiet environment. But you know, this is the world, this is planet Earth, and it's really noisy. And it's good if you can take the phone off the hook or leave a sign on the door or ask for the cooperation of your family that meditation's a really important part of my healing process. And if the door's shut, I'd really appreciate it if people could not interrupt me. I don't know how it is here, but in Australia, in just about all of our hospitals, you can organise with the staff to have some quiet time during the day and put a sign up on the door so that you really are uninterrupted during that time. By practicing those techniques on a regular basis, we find that we're able to go through all kinds of procedures and treatments and remain in a calm state. So often we can ruin an entire week by anticipating the CAT scan next week or the blood test next week. The more we're able to fully live in the present moment, the more we're able to let next week's stresses take care of next week. and today just to deal with today. And then instead of it becoming a monster, we deal just with the toenails. The toenails are manageable. But sometimes when we're in the presence of the monster and everything crowds in on top of us, we feel ourselves going down the gurgler. But if we can learn to just deal with this little bit, then it becomes far more manageable. So if you have a comment or a question, then let us know.
I enjoy meditation, but I get caught in all of the noise that goes on in my brain, and either I'm so busy trying to make that go away, or I go to sleep.
Okay. Welcome to the real world. You know, the Indians describe the mind as a wild drunk monkey swinging through treetops. The aim of meditation is to put the monkey on the leash. The more we try and stop the thoughts, the more chaotic it gets in there. Just let them come to pass. Sometimes we think we've fallen asleep when we've really dropped into a deep state of relaxation. And when I'm talking someone through and they come back at the end, they say, I didn't hear what you said past the ankles. I must have fallen asleep. Very often they haven't fallen asleep at all. If you have fallen asleep, you usually don't come back at the end of the practice. And certainly if you're on medications that make you sleepy, then certainly we can easily fall asleep. Or if we have tumours in the brain or whatever it might be. But very often we've just gone into a very deep state of relaxation where whatever I'm saying is not an interruption. And in fact a fire engine could go past outside and it wouldn't be an interruption. It's just part of this moment and the mind doesn't find anything to engage in. Another problem that we often have is that we have a really good meditation and then we compare all of the other ones to that one. You remember the one back in 82? Lord sakes, that was a good one. And then we give ourselves a hard time that, you know, every other meditation isn't as good as that one. Sometimes too we're expecting the Hallelujah chorus and, you know, a profound spiritual awakening. More often than not, meditation's not about that at all. It's exactly what you're talking about. It's seeing that the mind has got caught up with something and letting it go. It's got caught up with something and letting it go. Most of the benefits of meditation are experienced at times outside of our practice. So that you find that things that used to hassle you just don't bother you so much anymore. Life somehow or other seems to unfold more effortlessly. When a motorist cuts you off in the traffic, instead of getting hyped up about it, now we think, oh, he's in a hurry, I better make space. So it begins to infiltrate into every part of our life. I can guarantee if you practice that technique once or twice a day, within a month it'll change your life. Just things that used to upset us just don't seem to bother us so much anymore. Sometimes we can be expecting too much from our practice. Very often it's just the simple practice of seeing that the mind has got caught up and let it go. Sometimes I describe meditation as it's as if your awareness is the whole of the sky and that the thoughts and feelings are like clouds that drift through the sky. And sometimes they're little white fluffy ones like what's for dinner, and other times they're big steely grey ones like I get my biopsy results next week. The more we practice with the little white fluffy ones, which aren't so difficult to let go of, the better we get at the big steely grey ones as well. The problem is as soon as we begin thinking about the biopsy next week or what's for dinner, our vision is clouded. Our world becomes very small. And if we can keep our awareness very broad and allow those thoughts and feelings just to drift through and not engage in them, not get busy with them. So you might need to lighten up on yourself too. You know, we get so hard on ourselves. We really need to practice being loving and compassionate to ourselves. Most of my life was spent saying, I shouldn't be like this, I should be better. I'll never measure up. Life's a struggle, life's difficult. And now I have a much different attitude. I still fall into that often. But now it's much more, you You poor old thing, you know, you've developed some really weird coping mechanisms because of the things that you've gone through in your life. And some of those I developed when I was a child. But I want to grow up in this lifetime. And if I can begin to become aware of how I respond in situations, then I can begin to have choice to do it differently, to take a risk, perhaps to make myself more vulnerable, perhaps to tell you that I'm actually feeling really scared or nervous or whatever it might be. See, in order to really live a life, we have to be here. And the mind is nearly always projecting into the future, chewing over the past. I want to be on my deathbed 50 years from now and look back and say, Lord sakes, that was a ripper. It was a good life, well lived. Then every event, every tragedy, every miserable experience can become precious and can become a blessing, because I wouldn't be who I am now without the sum total of all of those experiences. So then years in hospital and pain and learning to walk and rape and my brother's suicide and my leukemia and divorce, and it's been colourful. And I think it's only half over. But then we can say all of those things were a blessing because they showed parts of myself that I wouldn't have got in touch with without them. But in order to begin to make new choices in our lives, we need to become aware of what's going on in our minds. And in my experience, the best way to become aware of our thought patterns and what's going on in our mind is to take that solitude, whether that solitude is just a 20-minute period twice a day, where we can begin to observe what's going on. Then we can begin to have choice. So the things that I'd like to leave you with are the fact that you can make a difference, that each of us can take responsibility for how we view the situation that we're in, and that each of us can take an active part in participating in our healing program, and that life isn't judged by its length. It's not how long we live, it's the spirit with which we live, and that by discovering who we are and making peace with ourselves and perhaps others in our life, we can all be on our deathbeds 50 years from now and look back and say, that was a ripper. It was a good life, well lived, and I feel like I truly came alive. And in that way we create the very best of environments for healing. So I thank you all.